vat my huis toe. Mama roep my thuis toe. Hy sing vir my, aku mama, aku mama, aku mama, aku mama. Mama vat my huis toe. Mama roep my thuis toe. Hy sing vir my, aku mama, aku mama, aku mama, aku mama.
Wait. Hoe kom laat sy? Good Baydu. Hello Wayne.
Baydu.
Hoe gaan dit met u?
Dit gaan
Gaan jy verstand te bowe?
Het gaat my verstand te bowe. It's been crazy. Ek is blij om vir jou te sien. Jy lyk cool, man.
Baie dankie man, ek het my baadjie uit.
Ek kan sien dit op paadjie.
Jy lyk mooi.
Thank you very much. I was expecting summer, but I think we're going to get it only in 2024. Maar ek is kwaad. Ek het nog nooit so lang winter gehad in my entire lewe.
Ek is so kwaad, ja.
You know, my lewe. En jy, hoe voel jy?
Ek het ook 'n lang winter gehad.
Lang winter gehad. Ek is blij.
Ja.
So, wat doen ons vandag? Als een show episode, wat? Ik heb mijn haar op.
Ek vandag.
Ik hier het
Jy haar.
Jy weet ek kan my haar met 'n nat was. Ek kom op.
Listen, welcome to another episode of the Wayne Mckay
And Baydu Adam Vodcast.
It's not a podcast.
It's a vodcast.
It's a bloody
Vodcast.
podcast. And thank you to our sponsors.
Yes, SITS. Simplified IT system.
Services. Thank you very much. Kyk hier, wag. Voor ons begin.
Yes.
Before we start.
Before ons begin.
Ek wil net sê ons is kwaai.
Baie kwaai.
Nee, maar jy sê dit is kwaai, kan sê ons is kwaai.
Ons is net kwaai. Ons is net by ons is.
Maar gaan sê kom ons kwaai.
Sê vir my.
Ons het ons eerste aan die camera kyk nou. Our first episode was Jody Chachi.
Yes, that's
young
right.
lady from Tafelsig, beautiful voice, and then we made her song our theme song.
Very much so.
But the song is blowing up, my bro.
It's blowing up everywhere. Even men are blowing up themselves. That's how good this particular song is. It is a quiet song.
Why didn't I talk to you about not talking into your mic when you get excited?
I do get excited.
We spoke about this.
Because I had a lot
The
of sugar
producers looking-
earlier on.
Dis wel lekker.
Julle-
Ek lag hier nie.
Okay, that's a picture to
Okay,
feel,
anyway,
guys.
but anyway, so the vodcast, so this song, né?
Yes.
Jody Chachi se Kuma koor. Mama,
Yes.
sing dit gou vir sy, kom ons.
Mama,
vat
ek kom
my-
huis toe.
Mama vat
But,
my.
as it, Mama vat my huis toe. Nou lag ek soos dit. Nou, dat is die worst part, as jy lag. Jy kan nie teruggaan na die mic toe nie.
Anyway, so I found out that a Malay choir
Ah.
is actually singing the song. And I'm going to check if they can put the insert in quickly. They're called Ottomans. Die song gesing.
Not that, ding is 'n actual ottoman. Oh, okay, ek vra maar net.
Die jokes.
Maar ek moet kom.
Nee, maar is kwaai.
It's kwaai,
But anyway,
thank you.
producer.
Ek likes it.
Kwaai.
Kwaai.
Maar I say, Ali, there's more.
Tell me more.
That was the Ottomans. They won the Heritage Cup. Met die song.
Nou, dis kwaai.
Maar weet jy, is ons, because ons song.
It was also song.
Maar ons
Although it's Jody's song,
maar
but
ons
also
het famous
also
gemaak.
song. Ja,
Want
ons het
ek wou-
famous
ja.
gemaakt.
Kry ons any kickbacks?
I don't know.
Ons
We
moet
will
met
have
Jody
to
phone.
ask.
We WhatsApp Jody.
Ja.
Maar that's not all.
In die Ottomans.
Ons waste tyd, maar
Ja.
that's not all. In die Ottomans, waarvan praat jy nou?
I just said it because I had to say it. I felt it.
So, daar's 'n klubs in Lentegeur met die naam van Players wat die song blaas met brass instruments.
Weet jy, ek het ook getry met brass instrument, but it's not the same. Jy moet, years ago, we used to clean brass.
With brass soul.
Yeah, with brass soul.
Maar it's not the same as brass
It's not the
instrument.
same. It's
Different,
not the
different.
same. Ek
Kan-
vat jou week.
Kan ons die klubs speel?
Yes, play
Ze
it.
praten baie vir die intro.
I have to.
Kijk maar, kijk. Anyway, Mr. Producer, play that player stukkie was tegel. kwaai is die?
Nee, is beyond kwaai.
Ik was maar voor jou high five.
Nou, high five.
Kwaai.
Ja, ik ga ook lachen.
Right, kijk hier nou. Hij lacht zo van je. I love it. I love this about
Ik
the
like
show.
it,
Ik ga
ja.
dus maar hier op die dingen zo.
Yes, that's
Ik
great.
zat onze guest ook zeggen. Sit closer to your mic, please.
Yes, ja.
Ik-
Definitely.
ik-
No, no, no. Ons
Wie is onze
guest.
guest vandaag?
No, jy kan van my sê van
Nee,
ek nou am honored.
Now, I talked a lot. I
I
talked a
am
lot.
honored. Jy kan van introduce.
Okay. I must be honest again. Ik is baie honest met jou as ons begin die show.
Ja,
Toe
te
sy sê-
honest,
toe
te
sy sê-
honest.
Toe sy sê Monique, né? Toe dink ek sy sê Monique van Rocklands.
Oh ja.
Maar toe kon ek agterna dis Monique Rockman.
Ja, daar kan net een Monique Rockman
Sy is
wees.
oulik hoor.
Ja, definitely is beyond oulik, but
As sy getroud of wat?
ons kan daai alles vir haar. Jy kan dit vir haar. Ek weet jy het issues, but jy moet kan dit vir haar.
Moet ek het issues?
Issues.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest Monique Rockman. Yay!
Hallo Monique.
Hallo Monique.
Hey guys.
Kan Monique net 'n bietjie nader aan die mic?
Dis dit nare. Moenie wegrol nie. As jou village stukker. Dis amper daai villages in die supermarket. Altyd daai een village. 4 wiele.
Pas jy insurance is.
Ja, daai een wiel sy gaan neer en dan.
Monique, welcome.
Thank you for having me guys.
No, it's a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Listen, we normally start with the show with the same question, which is please tell us about yourself. Tell us where you grew up. Tell us about your upbringing.
Wat teken die hele research gedoen.
Oseti.
Ons het jy.
Thank you for the honesty.
No,
that's
we
fine.
very honest,
Sy was
yeah.
sy was president op Simonie, mos, né?
Is it?
Sy sê
Is it still on?
jokes. Okay, Monique.
Okay.
Come
Okay,
on.
Monique Rockman en ek is oorspronklik van Albertinia.
Okay.
It's a very small town between Riversdale and Mossel Bay.
Woo!
No. Hoekom is dit Albertinia, maar is Riversdale en Mossel Bay?
Ek weet dit, het maar net so uitgekom. Ek is moeg man. Accept me.
Yes. But ek moet ook kan ek 'n vraag vra?
Nee, gaan aan, ons gaan aan. Ons altyd se show.
Gereprimand hier, verstaan jy?
Ek wil net wie se lead in die show.
Das niks leader nie.
Hey,
Das
hey,
niks
hey.
leader nie.
As ons kyk technically is dit 'n Wayne Mckay show.
Ja.
Ek is maar net die sidekick.
Definitely. But the psychic same here. That's why government has fallen because of the psychic.
Ek gaan nie aan.
Okay. Let's go back to you. In terme van as 'n aktrise, né? Voor jy 'n aktrise geword in Albertinia. Dis is 'n arm. Albertinia moet jy Afrikaans bevat as jy moet jy. Sy was
Maar
nog
jou
nie
question
nie,
vra jou
want sy was jonk geweest, né? Voor die bug vir jou gekry het in terme van as jy nou gesê kyk ek wil nou hier 'n aktrise wees, ek wil 'n sanger, hoe het dit gekom dat jy nou sê kyk
Ja, ek wou altyd. Okay, ek het gedink eers ek wil 'n sanger wees en toe was ek in 'n musical.
okay.
En toe
Toe sê ek in die chorus heeltyd.
Okay. Jy het 'n chorus.
Ja, always a chorus member, never a lead.
Okay.
Ja. En but it was fun. Maar toe vang die film bug my. And camera work has been, I think it's been my niche.
and when did you start your first sort of like camera work, getting behind the camera?
I did small bit parts, like late 20s, and I had like a 5-minute, I literally said one line in Ellen Pakkies.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Mevrou kan maar deurgaan. Maar ek het dit op my CV gesit.
Is hy
Oh,
is hy
ja.
Ek was in Ellen Pakkies.
No,
Ja,
quite.
definitely.
No, but you were because Wayne wasn't.
No, definitely. But
Hy kyk vir Ellen.
Yes,
En
maar-
Ellen
Vir
dink hom op 'n
pakkies.
pak.
Nee, die pakkies. No, but I walked past the set after
Ellen,
you
ja.
were after that you were
belangrijk.
done.
And they were
It was
selling pakkies.
months after the movie was done.
Pakkies knickknacks.
Daar het hulle vir Ellen pakkies geskiet. Net daar.
Skitty.
No, it's movie
They shot
geskiet.
the
They shot the
Julle
movie.
dink aan weer violence.
No.
Het was nog, anyway.
Maar was hy die quote geweest because ek kan nou daai quote sien.
Nee,
Oh, nou
ek
waar het
was
jy nou
net by die
gesê?
skool.
Oh, maar
Toe die oudjie nou die moeilikheid gekom het, toe ek die sekkie.
Nee, maar that's a beautiful.
Maar ek was saam met Jill, ek was saam met die lead. Ek het vir die lead gesê,
gesê.
mevrou kan
Beautiful.
Ja.
Nou.
Dat was belangrik. Iemand moes
wat-
vir haar gesê.
Ja.
So 32 was my first leading part and it was in number 37.
Okay.
So it takes a while.
So just tell me before we get to now it was number 37.
Nommer 37.
Nommer 37, né? Voor jy daar uitgekom het, watter ander produksies was jy in gewees? Because
Meestal theater.
meestal teater. So jy het teater gestudeer ook as wel?
Ek het net theater gestudeer. Ek het nog nooit filmtraining, camera training, niks gehad nie. So toe ek nommer 37 as my eerste lead rol gekry het, was ek in die diep kant ingegooi.
Wow.
And I mean, you learn as you go.
Yeah.
And I think that's I know a lot of people believe in you have to, and nothing wrong with it. I would have loved to have a degree in drama, but I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But I was not going to give
Yeah.
up, not a
Wow.
damn.
Yeah.
Because everyone told me like, what do you want to be? An actress? Nee man, wat wil jy regtig wees? Like a
A regte job.
And I'm like, no, an actress. And there's like,
I-
everyone
but-
was laughing, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it. This makes me want to do it more. En ja, toe sê ek nou in, by nummer 37, ek het geleer op die job, and all my other friends that actually went to university, when they came out of university, toe is ek al in die game.
Sure.
And I feel like a lot of people learn a lot more on the job. So all I want to say is that if you can't afford to go to university, just, you know, moet jy ophou nie. Ek bedoel, ek het al stages skoon gemaak,
Ja.
mense is al goed vir hulle opgedra, but I learned
And
the whole time.
that's an amazing lesson. I mean, like even like Mckay Wayne is now 70 odd years old. Hy wil nog altyd 'n stand-up comedian word. En hy don't give up on your dream. Wayne,
Most
don't
of the
give up
time,
on your dream.
I
Hou
won't.
aan, hou
Hulle
aan.
laat my altyd nie sit. That's why I do sit down comedy. But just coming back to nommer 37, né? Wat was so uniek gewees het van daai movie vir my, want dit is die eerste keer wat ek jou gesien het.
That's what
As
used
in,
to give it album.
Almal vir jou gesien het. Dis hoekom vra ek jou van die previous movies en productions wat jy gedoen het. Ek moet sê dit was vir my om dit te gewatch het, was dit ek kan een ding sê, dit was 'n Oscar-worthy performance.
Ja, thank you.
Really, I'm going to say it why I said because is die eerste keer wat ek jou sien en dit was die gehalte was internasionaal geweest.
Wow, thank
You know. So sê vir my net in terme van you know die proses en julle skiet natuurlik. Ek kon gesien van daai movie het sê dit speel af in die Cape Flats. Maar ek het gedink die kan nie in die Cape Flats wees because as daar pelicans vlieg oor elke keer.
It's a
Verby.
Pelican Park.
No, it's not in Pelican Park. Pelican Park het nog eens exist nie. Daar was net 4 Pelican Park wat gebygeloop het.
Pelican Park. Ek nog nie eens 'n pelican gesien.
Exactly. So daai was
Is hy
definitely
even-
geskiet.
Is hy even lavender joh?
Ja, as jy 11 really. So ek weet daai movie was klaar, want ek het exactly ek het about 'n jaar later so dink nee, die movie is geskiet hier lang by Milnerton se Cape Flats. Ek kan sien because some of my
Jy het dit nie gelees.
No. Ek kyk mos so
Iemand
daai
het die
plek
research
like
goed
bekend.
It was rugby.
Tiny.
It was rugby.
It was rugby, ja.
Yeah.
Net so Milnerton rugby.
Ja.
Ja, hulle het baie rugby gespeel daar, maar dat was
It was a crazy type of
Ja.
flats. It was definitely flats, flats. But die mense het ons regtig baie gehou aanvaar, which was a beautiful thing. We were always protected. Niemand het ons daarom probeer skiet of rob. I know another location. That was the scary location. Was in Langa.
Okay.
By die blokke. Die eerste dag wat ons daar kom was die continuations. Wat doen jy goed? Not laptop.
Yes.
Ja,
Daai ding.
ja.
Ek het die een nie, I can't afford it. But that was
Pad.
stolen. Yeah,
Tablet.
pad ding,
Ja,
tablet
ja.
goed. And
Sure.
I know there's a stunt guy that came in and his gear was also stolen, just like that. I know Irshad got caught on at some point.
Ja.
It was rough.
But you know, just shooting that particular movie.
No, Wayne, you can ask the next question also.
Thank you.
Might as well.
Ek wil, dankie wat jy my daai aandag gee. Is dat vir jou how is jou eerste keer wat jy in 'n movie is of that caliber? There is an expectation. But how did it affect you? Because, I mean, it was a violent movie. You know, it set the standard. There was so klom dinge in that movie. I like, wow, this is really... How did it affect you as a female being in a particular movie like that?
It definitely, I think that messed me up the most. Not in terms of the shooting and the
Yeah.
schedule and stuff. Ons weet mos nou is 12 hours.
But mentally.
Mentally, it messed me up because of the manhandling. And as a woman in South Africa, and you know history and PTSD and allerlei goedes, it was difficult to live in that world. And if you want to make it as real as possible, you have to kind of live in it. And but the nice thing was all the actors that I worked with, like that had to manhandle me, the Danny Rosses, he played the bad guy. He was amazing. And then we had stunties there, like Uncle Mikey Numunsomi, I was the other bad guy. Every time after take, they would all come to me, it's like, are you okay? Did I hurt you? Are you fine? Give hugs and stuff. So
Wow.
they made me feel safe.
Okay.
And yeah, I definitely needed to wash the character off afterwards. I always say, and I don't know if it's a weird statement to make, I hate acting. in terms of if you want to cry, I don't like to force tears just for the sake of you have to
Yeah.
force tears, because then it reads not real.
fake. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to go into it, and that's not always a good thing. I like to like throw
That's deep.
myself in there and feel it, and then make it look authentic. I don't like to be like, sometimes they say you're sad, and then gaan sommige mense like, I mean, it reads. So that's kind of the thing. It was worth it though. It was really worth it, because that's also when I won, not won, I didn't win, but I was nominated for my first Best Actress award, which it gave me the confidence to know, like, okay, I am on the right path. I can do this.
Was that the guy you mentioned? I don't know, but is he the guy who was in Four Corners as well?
Ilsha,
Not Ilsha, the other one.
Danny Ross was not in Four
Okay,
Corners.
okay.
I'm got to know Danny Ross as like a character. My mother was always in love with him in St. Worcester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the most beloved characters in St. Worcester, and rightly so. He's a brilliant actor. Yeah.
And just how do you deal with that though? Because I mean, and I know we've spoken about it. I want to just delve into it more for especially for people like us who don't know the acting world, whatever. How does Monique deal with that? How do you deal with the my acting scene where we talk about rape and abuse and sexual assault and whatever? And this is me when I come home to be with my family, be myself. How do you transition? What can you say?
In the beginning, it was difficult because I didn't know how it would affect me. And then I learned it's a thing of immediately wash off all your makeup, go take a bath, spend time with your family, get away from that world, which is not always possible because when you get home you have to learn the lines for the next day. So you kind of live in that world for as long as it goes on. So that's why they say after you wrap, after picture wrap everything, then you go wash off, go somewhere. I like to go home to Albertina to go back to my roots, to remember, oh, this is Monique, and this is my ma, and this is my pa, and my broers and sisters, my neighbors. Humble yourself again, because it's baie maklik vir akteurs om groot koppe te kry. I've seen it happen. My father would always say this, moet nooit 'n groot kop kry nie, wees altyd humble, en niemand is beter as niemand nie. Almal is op dieselfde level, and I have taken that with me ever since.
Can I just come a little bit closer, please, ma'am? Why can I maar nog 'n question vraag?
Jy mag. You are allowed to ask another question.
7 minute is mos jy altyd gepraat.
As you can see, I'm laughing slower.
Tell me quickly, as an actress, it must be difficult sometimes as daar nie werk is nie. Like how do, because we always, it's glitz and glamour, daar's, ek gaan nou myself gebruik want ek was nooit op TV nie, but daar's Baydu op TV and hy's famous and hy's by die awards and die awards, but you are not working all the time.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Like how do you, daar moet kos op die tafel gesit word.
So, excuse me again.
She's emotional, man.
Can you
Dis die questions
cut
wat ek
that?
vra.
No,
She
anyway.
had gas also.
No, but
I always
just the unfortunate,
I excuse myself for literally, like, I walk away, and I'm like, sorry guys, I need to.
Yeah.
And then I walk back. Nie as niks tyd vir skaambie
Correct. And that's an Albertina.
Nee, dis 'n oral ding.
And we're not going to cut anything out. So
Definitely.
Big, but I just said that because, the diva in me. No, first of all, I would like to start with a question when you say it's all glitz and glamour. It's not. We work on horrible locations sometimes. The thing I'm working on now, I get rained on like thrice a day. We have like tents that we get dressed in and stuff. That's mostly on location when you don't have the trailer jobs and stuff. We're used to that. Sometimes you have to get dressed and undressed in front of people. That's why I'm saying if someone needs to poop or whatever, dit moet nou maar gebeur. Like there's no inhibitions. If you really want to, you have to let go of all your inhibitions because you're not you. You're a character. And also trust your crew, trust your cast, trust everyone. And then the second question you said, sorry, what was that?
I forget. You didn't ask.
You said something about...
It's like, laat ek het repeat. Kan I repeat? It's about hoe sit jy kos op die tafel.
Yes.
Thank
so
you.
when we don't have work, and it's not even just the money thing. It's not just the money thing, which is a big thing for most of us in South Africa. It's that thing of when you don't work, you get depressed because there's no outlet for your
Because you're a creative
creativeness.
person.
Yeah. And a lot of us are like that. I mean, we always say, I can't say the F word, but we all make fun and say we effed up for what we do because it is a crazy job to do, But yeah, we need an outlet. You need an outlet, and if you don't have that, it gets depressing. Like,
Okay.
Just in terms of when you speak about obviously as creative, you constantly have to be creative. but also when you get an opportunity to be on different TV series or movies, it's you, besides having a script, you've got to adapt what's on black and white into what the director, producer, or whoever wants,
exactly.
and put it out there until it's right. It's like you're baking a
Buffet.
buffet of iets, maar jy wil het moet reg wees because
Baking a buffet.
it's that's what hulle doen in Albertine sometimes as well. In die kap. But the idea is that what reflects on screen, people will love, they will see, and you're that type of chameleon, but the person that can play different type
I've been
of.
so lucky in that.
Yeah,
Hey?
and that's what we like about
been
you.
so lucky.
We've seen it. Ek het het
Yeah.
gesien, you know.
Yeah.
But now, like Baydu asked about that time, for example, when there's nothing happening. It's almost like everything is stifled. You can't be creative.
Yeah.
What do you do in that sense? Because even there's a talent by your head,
Yeah.
and it cannot be weggaan. It's a you're born with it.
I guess so, yeah, otherwise you won't. Ek weet nie, jy doen maar, but jy is maar nou depressed. Yeah, help your chommies with self-tapes. A lot of times I like to, I have a group of friends that's also in the industry, then we would just start writing stuff, you know, say like, yo, we would start writing, this is funny, this is cool, it would be nice to do something like this or that, and we help each other with our self-tapes.
Ideas,
And ideas, just like talk about, you do everything you can. I recently started just like painting and stuff, but I'm not great, but it helps me to calm down and helps with anxiety and stuff a lot, stuff like that. I like to sing, so there's this thing called Smule or something, this app. I never posted really, but I like to sing on it. It's just some form
Do you
of
sing? I
release.
mean, jy gepraat van die choruses en ja.
I do sing. Ek was baie afgebreek as 'n sanger, and then I thought I couldn't do it. And as the years went on, I realized, no, I can do this. I actually can hold a note and I can sing. Me and my brother and my sister, when we get together, my brother has a guitar, and we would harmonize and we would jam. And funny enough, I would be the one that works out the harmonies. I wouldn't want to be the lead. I always want the one to sing. And I get angry if I can't get the damn harmony. I'm like, no, that's not it. And I have to repeat it. And my husband is like, Baba, hoeveel keer gaat dus nou die nummer? I'm like, I need to know that lower one. I have the high one, I need this one. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's also a bonding experience.
Wow. And just, I know we skipped over it, but Albertine in itself. Are we talking about a rural area? Are we talking about a semi-rural area? Because I've driven past there in the garden route. So tell us about Albertine itself. Because obviously when I come from, when I was living in Kabeja, I used to drive.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
the PE?
Oh yeah.
And when he got there, they had to change the name. To Kabeja. And it's been like that ever since.
You know. So yeah, like, oh.
That's just the first bump. But continue. I didn't keep you. That's fine.
This is very awkward. But
Yeah,
anyway,
very awkward.
Back to my question. So, tell us what Albertine was haar nou te luister. En hulle noem my nie
Ek dink jy dit
hulle
bestaan.
noem my nie by Exie, but
Oh, yes.
Albertine-
That's about Calvinia.
Calvinia, die Heksie se naam was Calvinia.
Calvinia, yeah. Exactly.
Calvinia,
Maar kon jy al...
Maar ek dink dit het niks met Calvinia te doen nie hoor.
You see why?
Anyway.
No, I see now, yeah.
But you can niet Calvinia and Albertina. That's a huge...
ek dink hy was kwaai. Ek dink hy was eintlik 'n
It
kwaai
was,
joke,
it
but
was
anyway.
like fine.
En die kat se naam is Matthias.
You know,
Matthee was die kat.
Die kat.
En dan hy gif appeltjies. Ek
Gif
is daar.
appeltjies.
Ek is by.
Ja, ek kon onthou.
Onthou julle vir bak en teorie?
Ja, bak en teer, shame and they haven't. They still here. Jy hoor die hele plek is vol bak
can
en
Monique
teer.
answer the question, please? Thank
Oh,
you.
yes, Monique
Wait,
answered.
what is it? 'Cause you guys spoke
Albertinia.
a lot.
Vertel
Ja,
vir van
okay. Dis 'n
Albertinia.
klein dorpie, 'n baie mooi dorpie. It is weird want ek weet jy het gepraat van rural en ek gaan nou daar kom. Ek dink dit is 'n normale dorpie met 'n klomp plase, die ryk mense dit mis nou maar hulle plase. What's funny is when toe ek daar groot geword het, there was still that segregation of this is the colored area and that's a white area.
Yeah.
Daar is die colored school, daar is die wit school. I started off at the colored school. I was bullied a lot. And then eventually I was sent to the other school, Albertinia War School, where I eventually matriculated. We did also have an area where there was the platas and stuff, but there was never a violent situation or a big issue with drugs and stuff. It was mostly like alcohol, like
Yeah.
it is in small towns and
Yeah.
stuff. But now recently, since I came back, there's a whole new area with a lot of people from outside that comes in and out. Now suddenly we have dangerous areas. We have, I guess, some gangsters, the tuckers lost there, and you can't walk certain areas, which is crazy to me because we used to go sleep with the door open of die kar staan buite met die deure oop en nou ewe skielik is dit nie meer veilig nie, which is really sad, you know, because it's not.
But you know what I
remember.
realized? Sorry to catch you, but when I moved to GQ, I realized I always say that it's a friendly dorp. It's kind of semi blah blah blah, blah as opposed to Cape Town. Cape Town is a rush job because even more rush. But a lot of the bad people, I must be very careful how I say this, but people who import the drugs move to those areas because ons mos nou al klaar hier, ons maak klaar se geld. Ons maak hier nog 'n plek om ons se geld te maak. You know what I mean? So that is.
And it's easy to get, like, a lot of kids don't have the thing of you have a future. A lot of them don't have the means to have a future. You get your
don't see it.
privileged kids, or they don't see it, or they're not encouraged to it.
Yeah.
But what I also then realized is since I left, weet jy hoeveel jong kinders het gaan swat? Jy sien these mense by UWC. Ek weet daar was 'n guy, sy naam is Gershwin, hy's nou hy's in ons arts en ek het hom nou die dag gekry by die Saftas. En hy's een van daai mense wat met kyk net se kar en meiringele en goeders
nice.
gesels en he is one of those. Dan kry jy iemand wat hier graad gekry het en ek weet nie wat nie and it's our colored people.
Yeah.
It's colored people and women. Where they used to just like stay there or get pregnant or whatever,
Stay
which
at
is the
home.
narrative that I hate to be brought on us. But ek dink mense het nou besef, of die jong mense het vir hulle self besef, kyk hierso, as niemand vir my 'n hooi gaan maak, ek gaan ek.
Self toe.
Ek gaan leer by die skool instead of in jongens belangstel. Ek gaan 'n beurs kry as my ma hulle nie geld het nie en ek gaan swat.
Iets doen met
And
die
I
jongere.
love that. I'm very proud of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And no, okay, Wayne, I was going to ask the question.
Just it's quite fine. It's quite fine. Just in terms of you're coming from the particular area of Albertina, and you're just seeing your youngsters just they're just rising above
Yeah.
their circumstances. Hoe voel die dorp in itself oor jou wat so ver gegaan het?
Sy het 'n statue daar, jy inkom in die dat mos altyd in
Is jy nou aan Calvinia of Albertina?
Moenie begin nie. Jy weet hy dorp is dat altyd 'n moerse groot kerk op die einde van Kerkstraat of Boekstraat.
Dit jy nog as hy moerse. Ek het gedog ons mag nie vloekie.
Maar moerse was nie vloekie.
Moerse nakker.
Moerse voorkerk.
Oh ja, nou dis
I
beter.
apologize.
Nee, dis beter.
Maar sy het 'n statue. Okay, you know what? We gaan maar nie maar okay.
Okay. So hoe voel hulle oor jou?
I feel it's mixed.
Is it mixed?
I feel it's half-half. There's sommige mense wat, well, I was never very popular amongst a lot of people anyway. So jy moes lag van kleer jou pa se onderwyser en die kind hou vas sterf en alles, like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And is that where the bully come from? The bullies?
The bullying came when I was very young, and because I was so light of complexion, and I mean, I was bullied in toilets. I was clapped in it.
Sure.
There would be girls in a circle that would
Sure.
take turns to clap, and I would just stand there.
Yeah.
And my dad was funny. My dad would like go to their houses, to their mothers, and tell them like, I will MU, like you just said, if you touch my daughter again. He was kind of my superhero. But they still did it, but anyway. And I mean, I used to not go to break at some points, and I would pee in the class. And that was embarrassing. So I went to the other school. It was way better. But then there was that whole thing of like the white kids would always say like, what are you? Are you mixed? Are you white? Are you colored? What are you? Is your... I'm like, no, I'm just colored. I'm just colored. There's niks. Oh, just a smarty boxy. Like, let's get with the picture.
Yeah.
I literally had boys that liked me, that was like white, that told me like, yo, I wish you were white. But I did date a white boy, and I was really in love with him. We're both married now, and we are on good terms. But
Stefan.
Nee.
Dries.
Ek gaan ook nog nie sy naam sê. Net ook kyk.
Ek weet ons is nog gepraat van moer nou, he's going too deep.
Nee, hy gaan.
Hy gaan 'n bietjie diep.
Yeah. So to answer your question, there's a lot of people that root for me, but then there's other people that still like, she keeps her like this and wouldn't support, and that, let's be honest, like that's what it is. And then I know there's people that says I do nothing for the community and whatever. But the thing is, they have this thing where they think when you are on TV that you are rich.
Yeah.
I am not rich. I am a freelancer. When I don't work, I have nothing. I work off savings. Jy kan nie vir jou 'n phone nou op contract op, jy moet save an iPhone. I don't even have an iPhone or nothing. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, and also I'm working all the time, and if I go, it's going to cost, and you don't want to ask people to pay you that amount of money because they don't understand that this is part of your job.
Yep.
But I promise that if I do, especially my father passed recently, and I know the school was important for him. Thank you. And the kids loved him so much, and I know that if I do go, if I do have and that is a plan of mine actually, if you are listening, that I would go back and I will go to his school, and I would go there and I will give drama classes. If I have the funds, I would do it for free anytime. Just to give them that outing and stuff. Sometimes it really helps with your mental health and stuff, just to get an outlet and to make them dream bigger and stuff. So
And
that
I-
is the dream.
I think that is Thaise Albertina problem. Thaise brain mense problem.
It is.
And it's that crab in the bucket system where you pull each other down and whatever. And you know what? One of the things that I see many times, and I'll say it over and over, we are so used to always losing as colored people. Also, altijd in the middle, you know. And because we always lose, when one of us starts to go forward, we don't necessarily push them and support them. We drag them down.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to lose, you must lose
Ja,
too.
jy kan nie opgaan nie,
Ja.
want ek gaan nou nie.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
just-
but having said that, I really love my town, and the people that do support me all the way, and I really thank you for that. I appreciate it tenfold, and I love you guys back. And if it wasn't for you where I grew up, I would never have been here. So thank you for that.
En daar is 'n statue daar in die hoofstraat.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing. Guys, is al foot toe nie. Maar dis fine. Ek is fine. Ek is fine.
Ek is wat ek likes is in the fact dat jy focuses op jouself en waar jy wil wees.
Yeah, there's an end point.
Which is so important because alles wat jy al deurgegaan het al oor die jare, it kind of affects you in so many ways. En COVID het glad nie gehelp. Is ek reg?
Sorry, ek was. I'm not doing good at this podcast.
Ah,
Vodcast.
Vodcast.
Please, first of all, it's a podcast.
I was one of the lucky people that had 2 jobs going during COVID.
Oh, okay.
I was shooting, but it wasn't easy though. It didn't make it easier because I was shooting Gaia in Knysna and I was shooting Zuidooster in a storyline in Cape Town at the same time. So
Sure.
say I would wrap here lunchtime, my driver would pick me up, go to Knysna. I would start shooting until 3, 5 in the morning because it was night shoots mostly in the forest and it was then cold because we had to, and then couple of days there, wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, be here, lunchtime, start shooting, and like I said, it's 12-hour days both sides. So it kind of messed me up a lot. But I just told myself, I can do this, I have to do this. There's so many people that do not have work. So I was very grateful that I could do that. And I think the Lord blessed me a lot in that because my family would not have survived. So
If it wasn't
thank
for
you,
that,
God, for that.
En
Okay. No, me now because this is kind of no.
okay, vra jy man.
Okay, maar het is a serious question. So
Okay, vra.
En ek weet jy al het ook gemaak. Ek ken nog vir jou al. Yes. But listen, on a serious note, I did see a video where you spoke of mental health and mental illness or whatever the terms are. I apologize if it's the incorrect term, but is that something that affected you and that you have to deal with?
Oh, all the time. Since I was very young, I had to deal with it. And that's why I always campaign. I'm very open about it. I need people to be aware that even if you do have mental health, you can do a normal job. You can do a job. It is difficult, but you do it. And people mustn't discriminate against you. And I feel like the more people speak out about it, the more it becomes normalized, the more you know you are not alone and it is okay. And you can get help, and it's not something to be embarrassed about. Look, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I have a lot of mental issues. But I always campaign for it because I need people to know you're not alone. And it's the amount of suicides we've been having and stuff. It's not okay. So I think, especially in school, with the bullying and all that,
And now with
people
social
going through
media.
stuff.
I mean, that's-
Social media is horrible. It's for that. But yeah.
And a second part of the question before Wayne asks a funny question, how do you deal with it? And maybe your advice to other people who are going through that.
So a lot of us can't. Me and my friend, I don't know if you know Brendan Daniels, but he like lives quite close. We would always like walk around to each
He's
other.
supposed to
when
be
we
at this
can.
podcast, but hy's altyd te besig vir ons.
Nee, hy werk die meeste. We always say like DJ ek moet ophou met doen.
Brendan, kom maar.
Hou op met werk, Brendan.
WhatsApp
Wat
my.
'n break.
But yeah, so I deal with it like I go to therapy. I make sure I go to therapy every now and then. I do have medication. A lot of people is against medication, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that. But for some of us, we need to be on medication, right? So it's that thing, and it's trying to do things that maybe go for a walk, go for a run, do stuff. Like I said, I do some painting sometimes,
Yeah.
listening to music, focusing on things like I know it's so easy to say be positive, but it's also okay to say I'm not positive today. You can't be hard on yourself because you're positive today. Like I told you guys earlier, like some days I would come to sit and it's like, what's wrong? I'm like, no, I wake up angry every day. Just accept me. I'm not rude. I'm not rude. I'm just angry and tired. But I mean, some days are good, some days are bad. You can't be so hard on yourself. It is normal, and you will be okay.
Okay.
Get a circle. Get someone to
I think
talk
that's
to.
important, the friends thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I've got many great friends, and one of them is sitting right next to me, but when I phone him, he doesn't answer his phone.
Like earlier, I saw
Like,
it.
I phoned him twice. Like, he was late for this production. Can I say this? Anyway, he was late for this production. I phoned, I was in a panic, and what did he say, phone me? Anyway, up to you, over to you.
I was going through similar to what you were going through, but I didn't need medication for that. It was just called blatant ignorance on my point. It's like ignore because I almost know I got the memo.
Yeah.
But in terms of you know within the industry currently now, and it's so a fickle industry. We spoke about the fact that there's times that there is no work or there's nothing coming your way. You've seen you've seen obviously on South African television currently productions being closed. From every point.
That was very harsh.
Yeah. And you've actors that's been on those particular. So you've also played a role. Did you play a role?
I was
there?
never on
Never
Seven
on Seven
Line.
Line.
Yeah.
She was
but
Alan Pakis, though.
and Alan, but there's some other soap.
I did Sage
Oyster.
Oyster for a year, and I'm in and out of Benelandes.
Yeah. So a point that I want to make is that because those productions are shutting down after more than 20 odd years, people, the current actors that's in that production, look for them, it's the everyday life.
Yeah.
People that actually started paying money for homes, bought vehicles.
And I mean, we grew up with watching Seven Line.
20 odd years later. And to be told, listen, we're just shutting down.
Immediate effect.
You don't have the security, for example, as an employee at a company that can take recourse.
Yeah, we
in
don't.
terms of, you've seen what's currently happening in the States, where they have these writers, actors
On strike.
And it's been going on for quite a while. I think it's more than 4 or 5 months already. It's been going on for quite a while. And it seems like there is type of inroads being made for other shows to go back on air. But just coming back to South Africa, what recourse do you guys have as actors, actresses is there a body that protects you in a sense to...
Like a union almost?
A union to...
We have Saga. And to be honest, I don't really want to touch on that because I don't really like talking politics in this thing.
Yeah.
But also, it's very important that you mention that of something can close down like this. But also, even if you sign now a year contract or whatever, and it has happened to me before, you are replaceable like this. If you say or do something that is not okay with a certain production company or whatever, you get written out. Or they replace you with some, or you die, or I don't know. But like that's happened to a lot of people also. It's happened partly with me as well in a production, which is fine. I accept it. Maybe I did some things wrong, but I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's fair because you are working in a visual with a family. But yeah, you must always remember that there's always that stress of if I mess up a little bit too much, I can be replaced like that. If I know I broke my leg at some point while I was busy with a certain production, I was replaced like that. So it's also always important for you to take care of you on a set. Make sure safety measures are there. Make sure there's insurance, there's stunt people or stunt doubles. If you are not qualified for something or you didn't have training for it, you are allowed to say, even though you're scared, and when you're young, you don't say those things because
You want
now
to
the thing
impress.
is, yeah.
And
And
you
I
want to
was
be in
like
the-
that when
you
I
want
was
to be in
young.
that
Yeah, I
industry,
did everything. If you say, yes, I can do it, I will learn it now. But now you have a family. You know you are replaceable. If something happens to you now, I'm so sorry, and maybe you get some money. I don't know how it works, and then you are replaced. Your family must now live with you dying or you being in a wheelchair or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's important to make sure that you are always safe. And that's why it's always important to have a good agent also to it. And I'm blessed with one of the best agents ever.
Okay. And it's funny enough, I mean, Wayne knows, and I wrote a book recently where we actually touched on the freelance contractor as a radio person. Similar thing where, you know, you've done your show and you say goodbye, and then I'm the boss, and I'm like, it was your last show. So my next tour, and then again, your bond, varsity fees, the kids, your school, waar gaan die geld vandaan kom? And I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned now being, I like to call myself a freelancer because I'm not technically working, unemployed or business person, whatever, but get your hands in, how many put in?
Yeah.
So you're going to get a 10 rand here and you're going to get 10,000 rand there.
Yeah.
But there's going to be times when you need that 10 rand to pay for your
You need
airtime or
that
for
10 rand,
electricity
10 rand,
or
yeah.
whatever the case
I
may be.
try to do as much as I can. So I also do like voice work, like be in
yeah.
between. So if I'm off, I'm not actually off. I have to go catch up. Like tomorrow I'm off, but I have to go do like an 8-hour gig for a show. That, I don't know if you know Elif. Well,
It's
it's
Turkish,
that
they
one,
have the
that
Turkish
Turkish
image.
stuff. So that's at Homebrew. I do that, and then also at the Content Lab by the Airport Industrial, I do another show called Do It Saunders. So I try to do whatever I can, whenever you can't rest because you have a family, you see. And my son is the thing that motivates me the most. So I will work me in my chops if I need to, because I need that likely to turn 18 and be well, not well off, or not spoiled, but good, like a good person, a good human.
Holistic, yeah. I was thinking of something which I've never done. When you go for an audition process, what is that like for an actress? Because we always just see the movie, we don't know what it's like. I don't know when it's like audition for a TV
Ja,
show.
nee, maar not for eat programs, but they said no.
For what programs?
It's to eat something. And then they said, ek vat 'n lank. Because I wanted the entire plate. They said just a piece.
You
So
will
we just
think
have
it's
done
fun,
Yeah.
but when that retakes happen, you have to
Exactly.
eat
That's
the
what I
whole
wanted.
time.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But like, what does an audition process work like?
Yeah, well, now we have self-tapes, right? But an audition process is they will give you the brief, right, if they collect you, because they're looking for a certain look, a certain age, a certain something.
Yeah.
You will go to your audition, they will give you scripts to prepare. You go,
Sorry to cut you, but you get the scripts when you get there, not before.
No. They have to give it before the time so that you can actually be prepared.
learn it.
It's
Okay.
horrible to come there and you don't know your words.
Okay.
You're already half out.
Okay.
So then you will come there, you will do it the way you rehearsed it, but then you must always be open to the director is going to throw you by saying, okay, I like what you did there, but now do it completely different like this. Do it, and then like, okay, now I want to see you do it like this, because they need to know, are you able to be directed? It's that thing, and the discipline of being on time, sometimes just before the time, be on time, be there, be confident, even if it's difficult, you have to be there and focus. Sometimes you sit in that line with a clump actors and stuff, and they want to talk the whole time and whatever, and
and you
that
can't.
takes your focus away, and sometimes that's a strategy.
Yeah, it is.
That is a strategy.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
In most-
So you stay there, you're focused. Oscar Peterson told me once, it's easy for you to get focused, but the difficulty is to keep
Stay
focused.
focused.
Stay focused. And I've kept that with me, especially on a set. A 12-hour day is easy to yeni maral, but you know, minute will jokes mark. But you know you have still 5 scenes to go, so it's good to keep focus. And I think the important thing is always treat everyone nice, your crew, everyone. Yes, sometimes there will be outbursts, and nothing is ever personal on a set. You must realize that as well. It's not easy, it's not glamorous, it's
Yeah.
tough, especially for a woman. Even tougher for a woman of color.
Yeah.
Sure.
Lovely.
Okay, Wayne, vooruit zijn we nu.
Oh,
Ja,
look.
ik denk ik is klaar.
Is Jay klaar?
Ik denk zo.
No, but just you know, your like you just said, that's why when I asked earlier on in terms of the bully and everything else, you need to be tough. It basically that was basically your path in the sense, obviously coming from primary school, high school, and going into an industry where you know women of color are, you know, there's a spotlight on her, and she's got to produce, and it's
You have to show up,
you've got to show up, and it becomes double tough for you.
Because it's almost like you always have to prove yourself
Yeah.
for some reason. Even though you've proved a lot, you always have to prove yourself.
Over and over. It's funny you should mention the stay focused, because this vodcast is never focused. It's
No,
really-
it is,
we're-
but
we're
it's a fun
all
podcast.
over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Ek
you
wil
very
nou
much.
ook 'n podcast hê.
Oh, yeah, no.
Ek gaan julle week afstel.
Let's close the doors early. No, but I'm, wat jy,
Nee, ik wil, kan ze misschien voor zingen? Ze kan het
No. Ga jullie bij betaal?
Nee,
Yes,
ons kan
hij moet
niet,
betalen.
maar ons is lief voor jou.
daar kom die Albertine uit,
Jy
gaan jy
sê
nie betaal.
altyd dit. Jy bly
So
sê.
I want to hear what you sound like when you sing like a line or two. Because Wayne and I used to be singers when we were younger,
Yes.
but we
Very.
gave it up because we can't sing.
We never
Something very
gave
short,
it
but
up.
this is not an audition.
No,
Okay.
oh no, definitely not.
Oh,
Ja,
maar
dat ek ook
we get to sing.
in case ek saam moet
Gaan
sing.
julle nie saam sing nie? Ek dink ons moet saam sing.
Of
Ek dink almal ken
course,
dit.
ons
Wat
gaan
gaan
nie
ons sing?
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Saying I love you is not the words I want to hear from you. It's not that I want you not to say it, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you feel. More than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say. Yeah, I think that was more.
That was
than July.
absolutely, you got an amazing voice, beautiful.
Lovely.
Look how I'm blushing.
Nee, maar
It's
dit is
so on the
oulik.
spot.
Maar ek wil ook baie gesê het, maar ek het nie 'n beetje ook vertel.
No, vertel, jy nou, die
Hoe
ou-
heet dit? En as
die
ek jy lag,
saai-
is dit fyn.
Ja, it is amazing.
Thank you, Wayne.
Sit down.
Thank you.
comedian. Hy two klomp jokes. He's actually categorized it now. So luister
Okay.
en
I'm
op die
focused.
geniet.
I love a good joker.
Ja.
Okay.
No pressure.
Okay. So die mami skilpad en die baby skilpad.
Ek sal maar soon toe lag.
Is Wayne.
Okay.
Die mami skilpad en die baby skilpad gaan beach toe. Die
Wat sukkel op die beach. man.
No,
Okay.
wait,
Okay, I'm
wait.
listening.
Okay. Die mami skilpad en die baby skilpad gaan beach toe. Die baby skilpad sê vir die mami skilpad: "Mami, hou my dop."
That's so bad. It's so bad, it's good. Well done. Nee, ek lag vir sulke simpel jokes. Is baie droog. Is baie droog.
Monique, thank you.
Monique, ja.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've learned a lot about you.
We've learned.
Ik praat, ik praat mas nou praat. Ek kan pas nou jou stukkie sê.
singular.
Nee, maar ek kan pas nou jou stukkie sê na.
Ja,
die, as
okay,
ek moet-
ja,
alright,
okay,
okay.
continue.
So I've learned a lot about you. Thank you for singing that part at the end. Beautiful. I just want to wish you all the best in your career, in your future, with anything that comes. Hopefully you'll get bigger roles and more international things coming your way, because I think you are an amazing actress and you are an amazing human being. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, this was a lot of fun. You two are, I don't want to say it, you guys are, you guys are hilarious.
I would just
Equally,
Yeah, thank
equally
you.
hilarious.
Thank you very much.
Both is number one on the call sheet.
Yeah,
Thank you so much
definitely,
for having me. I
This is
appreciate it.
Mike 1.
Take my mic
Mike
now.
2.
Yes, like it. Just to say to you as well, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. I've been an immediate fan when I saw you at number 37. I told you exactly your, and I said earlier on you it was an Oscar-nominated performance. You were nominated. You never won. Jill won that in that
Yeah,
category.
but I mean, that was a
But
given.
still,
Yeah.
but women of color doing absolutely amazing international work. Despite everything that you've been going through, your journey, there's a lot of others that may be going through a similar journey, but they don't have the platform to speak. But you are a guardian in so many ways to be able to tell others to listen. We support you, you speak. You are that light for others that don't
man.
see or don't have that energy or don't have that opportunity to speak. So we salute you for that, and thank you so much for allowing us into your space. And may you be blessed in many, many more ways. And also that when you get that next nomination, that you actually win
nou
it.
die dag, nee, kan ek nie vir jou sê.
Saf, weer,
Ja, wie?
weer nog een ding. Nee, het gaat
Next
komen.
time, nee, next
Het
time.
gaat komen,
Nee,
het
gaat
gaat
next
komen. Next time afaan ze het. Toen is maar kan je wist. Hallo Jara.
Wacht, Jill.
Ja, swift.
Sorry, Jill.
Sorry Jill.
Next time.
Ja, Mona het genoeg. Mona, Muna genoeg. Muna. All the best. But we love Jill. Jill, we love you.
We love you, Jill.
is the best.
We love you, Jill.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and thank you, Wayne, for laughing here.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. It was nice.
As opposed to here. Hey, you luck with players.
Yeah.
Anyway, Friday Annoyances, thank you very much for our sponsors, Simplify the IT Services. Monique, have yourself a lekker time. Thank you. Till next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Tot ziens. Away.
Mama, vat me.
Yes.